Alright, so basically, I'm going to go to just a short, quick video. I want to show you how you actually can load your projects that you have in Visual Studio's code. How do you get that stuff to show up into GitHub? How do you upload files into GitHub? And I'm going to show you an easy way for that interaction to happen. There's a couple of ways you can go about it. One is you could go directly here into your repositories and just go to new. And basically what this is like a new, I guess you could say like a folder on your computer. Type in the name here, the description here, public or private. And then you select what you want to have here. You don't need to have this stuff. You can add it later. I tend to add a README file. In that README file, there's some general things you could have in that README file. You choose a license, but there's some learn these things here. You hit create repository, and voila, you're finished. That's pretty much how you do that. So another way is if you use the Github Gui. All right, so that's this one right here, the Github Desktop Gui. So on this one, you can click in here to add a new repository. Like say new, it's the same thing, right? The same thing. You choose the file locations that it's at. Like this folder right here, you choose this folder, and that'll be what you create a repository from. And after you finish it, create a repository. It might send you through some authentication, which you have to click in here and then go to your GitHub account and click something there. But that's the other way. Those are both really easy ways. Another way is the way I'm going to use now, which is I'm going to upload a project that I have, and I'm going to upload it directly into GitHub as a new repository. There's no repository there. So basically, I have this extension that I've downloaded here, and it's basically or installed with Visual Studio's code. It's called GitHub. Actually, it's right there, right? GitHub. There you go. All right, so it's right there. I installed this one. This is the one. After I installed it, let me show you how to use it. Let me just show you. So now, after I installed it, right now it's like, okay, well, look, there's no repository created. The folder currently open doesn't have a GitHub repository. Cool. Initialize repository. Publish to GitHub. You can also directly publish this folder to GitHub repository. Right? So I think we're going to do this one. Publish to repository. And then you see this one that says private or public. I'm going to hit public because I want to show people how to do this and I'm going to make improvements on it. All right, I want to publish all these files. So these are all the files in the folder. I don't know if I have this about. I don't know if I had that one, but it doesn't matter. I'm going to hit OK. After that, you see down at the bottom right, it says publish to GitHub, uploading files. Done, right? We're good. So now I'm going to open up GitHub. Look at that. Guess the number. And there's all my files, right? Now, another cool thing is I can come in here and I can delete all this stuff. Right, I can come here, delete this stuff. And you see this little red mark here? This right here is saying that some changes have been made, right? So if I click that, right, nothing's happened, right? So changes have been like cached, I guess you could say, but it's not like made as a change yet until I hit save. So you see here you have number 1 is saying that it's unsaved change. So I come here and hit save because I don't have autosave on this because it was creating an issue with GitHub. At first I had autosave, and it was just every now and again I think all these checks that it keeps checking creates this weird point where it creates all these unsaved changes that kind of queue up, which I don't need that. So I'm gonna hit save on that, right? And then after I hit save, you'll see that it's showing a change on this file here, scripts.js file. Now, before I go further, I do want to just mention that I use autosave. Now, let me show you. Actually, let me just show you really quick. I don't know why the other file's not showing that. So I don't know why the. Oh, let me just go to folder and then let's go to guess the number index. All right. So look, I'm gonna hit open with live server. I'm gonna hit stop live server because I think I had it running before. Okay, it's now offline, so it was running. So we hit open live server, right? And this is basically, ignore those. I put those alerts there for something else. But basically, this is my site, right? This is the site and project I was working on. So it's just simple, 1, 2, 3, guess the number, right? And so if I hit 750, I hit check me, and it shows to show my guess, and then it shows if it's too low or too high. I'm gonna open up the console below, right? Bam, look at that. And then so there's a secret. That's like the hack. It's like the game hack, right? So this is the actual number. So if I put like 2509, it's going to say too high, right? And then it'll show the guess, right? And then it'll show an array of the guesses that I have so far. It keeps adding all of my guesses into a list element, and it shows up here. But basically, when I was doing this and programming it, I would put it side by side, right? You know, I have it like over here, and then I have this over here, right? So then I could like, you know, I can see what's going on live, right? So you make some changes, and then the changes happen right away, and that's why I had autosave on. But when I had autosave on, I was working inside of a folder that was also coming and connected to GitHub. You know what I mean? So you had a GitHub folder that I was working on the files. So each time the thing would auto save, it would create this list of all 1,000 changes every time the auto save would happen. So when you are in a mode where you're just like, I guess you call it developer mode, maybe it's something I gotta learn. Maybe it's like production mode or developer mode. I think it's like a process I was in. So when you're in that mode, when you're kind of testing the code out, I guess, or you're writing the code and then you're immediately behind you, you're testing behind you to see. It's better to create the autosave, but not like when you're connected to the actual GitHub page, right? So it's like after you've if you're connected to the page, just turn off the autosave. But if you're not necessarily are working on a file that you pull from GitHub, then I recommend just doing the manual save that way. And if you're just working with some files that you haven't yet published to the web, autosave is awesome, right? Because you can make the code changes, and you can look directly into the application itself and see how things are going, right? So I hit the sound button. So after oh wow, that thing's gonna go off. I don't know why it's just on this one right now. So after I made the changes, so let's come back here. After we made those changes, now I want to show you some buttons here. Just open the file. The file's already open. There is discard this change. There is stage changes. Now watch this. Now if I say, hey, look, commit those changes, it's going to say, wait. There's no stage changes to commit. You trip it. So I don't want to do this. So this is all version control software development, right? So this is important to just be aware of the stages if you're going to be working more with software or working within a team of people, or people are going to be working with your software. Either way it goes, it's important. So I'm going to hit cancel, right? I'm just going to stage the change. So I'm going to stage changes. Now you see that? Now it's staged. So I can make changes, or another person can be on the file itself too, and then they can make changes on the document, and then we'll see those changes, right? And then after that, after the changes have been set, like now I can go back in here and look and see, okay, this is all the stuff that's been removed. Great, I approve, right? And then from there, let's see, how do we commit the change? I'm going to add a message that says deleted to do items and comment. enter, and now it's gone, right? Now it's no longer a part of my changes. It's no part of my stages. It's gone. Now, what's also interesting to see is, let's go look at GitHub, and let's see what GitHub says, right? So let's see. Where's GitHub? Okay, so GitHub is right there, and then repositories, right? You see, that's the thing I did, right? So let's go into it. It says 7 minutes later. So it should show that I did something else. So it has 1 commit. Now, when I looked at this last time, when I did this, it records it immediately, the changes I made and what I stage and then what I commit back to this master branch of the repository. But in here, it takes about this long, like 7 minutes to 8 minutes for it to show up here. So I'm going to refresh this, right? And it still doesn't show. But what's going to happen is that, let me show you a different one. It's the weather API, or weather app. So you see here, I did the same thing with this one. And I was testing it out, and I said, okay, cool, it had 1 commit, but it was that for a long time. So it says 2 hours ago it inputted this, but really it was more like 8 minutes from the time that I posted this first commit. All right, so that's pretty much what it is with GitHub. So just to recap, there is this app, but there's this extension you can install called GitHub within Visual Studio's code. I don't think there's any settings that you need to really set up that much, but if you do, it's right here. After that, it works pretty well, you know, as you can see. So I prefer to use this method, but there's those other methods I said, like I use this for a Twilio application I was trying to go through. I was just kind of experimenting with the GUI. The terminal command is a little difficult for me to pick up on, you know, so I'm still getting used to that, but this just seems easy because I'm already in Visual Studio's code. And I'm used to just pressing these kind of buttons and working with the command palette and just typing things up, or just hitting this thing here so I can clearly see what's being changed, what's not, versus the command prompt, or if you're just working in a terminal, you know what I mean? Like if you are just, let's see, where's the terminal at? Your terminal. If you're just in a terminal, it's kind of difficult for you to visualize or see in a better order what's being staged, what's not being staged. You know, it's difficult because then if I see it down here in a terminal that, oh, I have scripts.js stage for changes, it doesn't tell me, you know what I mean? Like it's easier for me to just click over here and say open file here and get into it, right? Because here I'm just reading it, and then I'm just okay. I'm like, I now have to go over here and open it. But here I'm like, this is what I'm into right now. I'm like reading it, looking at it, and over to my left, I'm clicking on it, I'm opening it, right? It's just a micro step closer to what it is you're currently doing, right? So anyway, that completes this video. Like, subscribe, comment about some things, maybe questions you might have, or things I don't know about, and you just want to let me know. I know I'm still open. I'm not saying I'm an expert in anything, right? So I'm open. But I'll see you in the next video.